Thank you, Jen, and thank you for making sure that everybody gets the opportunity to ask questions. I really appreciate that. I've got one on housekeeping real quick, and then I've got a domestic and a foreign policy question. So you got some beautiful screens behind you. Your predecessors have rejected multiple requests to bring back the Skype seat to the daily briefings for the benefit of reporters who are trying to stay safe during the pandemic by working remotely. Would you consider bringing back the Skype seat?
We would. I will say, people don't usually realize this, but there's normally about 60 people in this room. I think that's the right number. That's certainly something we would be happy to have in this room. And I think all of you would too, because you're asking questions on behalf of your colleagues. But we also, we rely on the advice of our health and medical experts on what's safe, not just for us, but for all of you. And having everybody sit seat by seat wouldn't be safe. I know that's not what you're asking, but we'd certainly be open to taking questions via Skype. I took some questions on Twitter the other day. We're going to try to take some questions from the American people that they ask on YouTube. And so we'll continue to look for ways to not just bring back the daily briefing, but to take questions from more reporters and people.
Okay. During the campaign, this is the foreign policy question. During the campaign, Mr. Biden had said that he would give benefits to the Palestinians, but he didn't specify anything that he would ask any concessions. So the question is it the belief of this administration that the Palestinians don't have to make concessions to get funding or a consulate?
Well, I think I've talked about this particular issue enough in my old days at the State Department to know I'm going to defer to our national security team and the State Department and Jake Sullivan on any more specifics. Obviously, the president's view continues to be that a two-state solution is the only path forward, and that continues to be the position of his White House and administration.
Finally, this is on behalf of a colleague who's not able to be here today due to social distancing. Does the president believe he can attain unity with the 74 million Trump voters while urging his allies in the Senate to hold an impeachment trial after his predecessor has already left office?
Well, the president's belief is that he was elected by 81 million Americans, in part because they believed that he was somebody who could help bring the country together, unify the country around addressing the crises that we face. And when he talks every day, nearly, about getting the pandemic under control, putting people back to work, he's not just speaking to people who voted for him. He's speaking to all of the American people, including the 74 million who didn't vote for him, and certainly addressing the pandemic, ensuring that people don't worry about the health and safety of their grandparents, of their sisters and brothers, getting kids back to school. That's not a partisan position. That's a leadership position, and one he's taking because he wants to make sure he's delivering for all of the American people. Go ahead, Alderman.